starting off on Whirlwind for our second best free here of the day. To the bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran player is going to be ByuN. He's going up against the red Protoss to the top right-hand side of the map. It is TaiLs. Alrighty, so what's up everybody? First series of the day, some ZVP went a little bit wacky, some interesting games. Let's see what this TvP is going to be like as we set on up into the early stages of the first game. And obviously ByuN a heavy favourite, has GSL in a couple of days. Will be interesting to see how he does in GSL. Has an interesting group. DRG Ling is probably the weaker link, and then he has Stats and Ryung to battle against. So it'll be a battle between ByuN, Stats, and Ryung, and it could go any which way. I mean, I feel as though Stats is maybe going to struggle a bit because it is TvP, and TvP is a bit broken at the minute. Everyone's saying it, but at the same time, ByuN's been looking a little bit weaker as of late, and so it's very possible that maybe he doesn't make it through this group. You know, maybe Stats finds some good strats. He might struggle against Ryung a little bit. Who knows? For now, we'll just enjoy his games here in the WardiTV weekly number 3. So we set on up, and we see already Rupa has picked off a probe in the very early stages, so I wouldn't say that's too much of a surprise or anything there, just finding the probe early, able to pick it off while it's trying to scout, and that is that. I mean, it's not too much of a surprise or anything, as we're going to be seeing the Mothership Core moving forwards. This Reaper is moving around here from ByuN as well, having a little bit of a look to see what else is up and what else is happening, basically. Robot facility coming down over in the main base, and we're just going to be seeing the Stalker pushing out just towards the front of the natural expansion as well. Reaper will try and dive on in, but gets turned away by the Stalker Mothership Core very early here. Unfortunately, not really much that can be done just yet. I'll just quickly mention the Maturino, guys. Unfortunately, we didn't get the coupon codes made in time here today. I got told that the coupon codes were going to be made, and they didn't get made, so that's why we have no coupon codes for you guys to use today. So I just put in the extra $50 myself today, and we will and I'll try and talk to Maturino to sort it out so that we can maybe get that $50 back and use it for next event or something instead, or so, just to make up for it a little bit, I guess. But that's why there's no coupon codes today, guys, just because of the fact that just because there's an issue that just the coupons didn't get made or something. I don't know what happened. I got told they would be made, and they didn't get made. So I know about as much as you guys know, basically. But that's the situation. So no coupon codes. But of course, if you do want to donate to the prize pool, you're more than welcome to. So you go and check that out. It's exclamation mark Maturino in the chat will give you the link. Where you try and aim to win is an extra $25 on top of the 100 we have guaranteed for this event. Just to make it, you know, that little bit extra for the players to play for. It's nice when we can get a little bit of extra money on the line for the players and get them a little bit more to play with. So, anyways, we're going to be seeing the Widowmine and 6 Marines coming in here early from ByuN as he starts to look for some damage. He's going to unload in the side of the base where, well, TaiLs doesn't have much vision, but he does have the MSC in here, so realistically he shouldn't have too much of an issue with this. He's actually just going to burrow on the ramp. It's actually probably one of the better positions for ByuN to work on, but he loses the Widowmine. Observer is here, and Stalker's on the low ground to get rid of it, so not really a lot that can be done. That was a nice position over here from ByuN, because it's kind of out of range of pylons. You can work away at a gateway or something in that location, and Stalker's coming forwards, and TaiLs will defend this for now, pushing back ByuN's first medevac. ByuN pulling a Reaper around the side now as well. He's going to go for a pretty quick Stimpack-based follow-up. I mean, he's already got a couple of reacted medevacs on the way out, so this is kind of interesting early, honestly. He's got the 3 reactors very quickly. He hasn't built into anything such as like extra tanks or anything like that. Just 2 Widowmines straight into all of this bio-based commitment. So usually, again, nowadays we do see kind of some more factory-based units, maybe Liberator as well, before you go into that Stimpack and all the rest also. But that's not going to be the case here today, as we're going to be seeing the Reaper just again moving around, seeing what else is going on. Medevac and a few Marines, obviously from earlier, still on the map. And some more Marines and Marauders look to move out to join up. The next 2 medevacs coming out as well. I mean, Stimpack done in the next 60 seconds, so a little bit of a timing is possible here as TaiLs setting up just an initial defense with these observers. Just setting up an initial kind of wall of vision so you can see what's going on at all times. and just spot attacks like this coming in towards his third base. Stalker's currently chasing down a Reaper, which goes into the natural, does spot the Robo Bay, but that leaves his third base all alone. And TaiLs, does he just not see this attack coming across? Because now he's going to be completely out of position, and I mean, the risk he's taking in popping this third base down early is just going to lead to it being cancelled. So a little bit of a shame there, because he had enough units to at least contest this, especially considering there's no stim pack on these units for another 30 seconds or so. But got too distracted by that single Reaper. And the Reaper not only distracted and giving ByuN a big opportunity there to actually get in and to pick off the third base, but also scouts the Robo Bay coming down. So he knows that it's going to be a Robo Bay. And he knows to start expecting either Colossi or Disruptors sort of soon. He saw the Robo Bay upgrading though, so he probably knows to expect the Colossus rather than Disruptors. This was an interesting fight. Blinking on top of the bio. This has not gone well at all for TaiLs. He loses a lot very quickly. Stim was there now as well. Combat shields also finished, and well, now we're going to see another Stim. I mean, ByuN just killed a lot. Now he's going to get this Colossus perhaps, and that's going to be a big deal. Doesn't go down, but he will keep chasing him. Now it will fall as he chases further into the natural expansion. ByuN just looking to have a little bit too much right now. There's a couple of these Zealots going to be going on down. This pylon to the side is also going to be dropping here. Some more Stalkers. Just going to keep on taking some damage. These probes also going to continue dropping right in this position in the natural expansion. And this is a lot of damage being done by ByuN as he just more or less clean on up. And this is going to be GG. TaiLs really just made that one big mistake of blinking on top of the army with his Stalkers. I mean, that's never going to be good into some of our own events, such as the WardiTV weeklies. If it wasn't for the subs and the people who donate and so on, we wouldn't have events like this one. Like the WardiTV weekly, where we basically get an extra day of casting. Like, I mean, recently, this month we wouldn't have had anything to cast on Mondays at all if we hadn't had this event to run. So to be able to run this event and to kind of get that going and to cast this instead has been it's been nice. It's been really awesome to be able to cast this the last couple of weeks. This is our third week of doing it. We'll have one more event next week. Next week we're probably going to have to move it away from Monday because there's an IEM career qualifier on Monday. So we'll probably be casting that, and it will overlap with this, probably overlap with the start of this event. Just to be safe, I think we're going to move it to probably Wednesday, or another day where there isn't really much else going on, basically. So we'll look to do that, and that will be coming up one day next week, weekly number 4. That's the last weekly we do have confirmed for now. I'm going to talk to some people and see what we can do about keeping the weekly active, and seeing if we can keep it for running through February as well. But we'll have to see as we have to. The top right hand side of the map, the blue Terran player, it is ByuN. And he is going up against the red Protoss player to the bottom left hand side of the map. It is, of course, TaiLs. Now, ByuN is going to be setting up into this position where he did go gas first, and he's going to have his factory able to come down pretty quickly here after the expansion drops. So factory will come down, early pressure available, but it's nothing too crazy because he is still expanding as well, and that's worth keeping in mind at this point. Expansion is indeed on the way down, so expansion is building. You see this probe is currently backing away back through the south side of the map. I'm just heading back home to see what will happen next, basically, I guess. You're going to see this Reaper coming through also. Just having a little bit of a peek, and last time the Reaper did pick off the probe, this time doesn't look as though he's going to be as lucky. I mean, obviously the probe timing is a lot different here on Overgrowth than it is on Whirlwind. On Whirlwind, he was kind of coming across and just starting to scout his second location as this Reaper popped out. Whereas here on Overgrowth, it's a 2-player map, so he finds his opponent straight away, and that probe is back home safely in plenty of time to avoid that Reaper. We've seen this, they're still just sat off to the side. Just going to wait a little while before trying to come in and scout a little bit further. I'm just going to be seeing the Mothership core overhead as well as going to try to pick off the Reaper, but doesn't quite make it happen. Very, very much Cats, who just hosted us up with a whole chunk of viewers. And welcome everyone from Cat's stream. I think Cats was actually streaming his own run through the WardiTV weekly. He was up against Solo in the second round. So hello everyone from Cat's stream. What's up? If you're around, do not feel afraid to come and jump into our chat and say hello. Otherwise, enjoy the games. We're currently in ByuN TaiLs from the round of 16 of this tournament. And we'll be bringing you guys the rest of the action here today, including both the semi-finals and the finals as the games go on. See a couple more gateways being added on here by TaiLs in the main. He's also just gone for that robo once again. Super safe kind of standard setup where he's just aiming to get into a position of the game where he's going to be able to be very confident. Just be very happy with where he's at, I think, as we're going to see this Reaper. Going to go down. Oh, he's chasing it. He's chasing it. Finally gets the kill. And the Reaper does indeed fall. So Reaper falls here. And I'm just going to be seeing the few gates just finishing up right now. So a few gates finishing on up. Observer's still building, and TaiLs just looking for some vision early to work with. He does see actually the medevac coming across the map, and the Widow Mine starting to move forwards as well. And we're just going to be seeing the Widow Mine just starting to drop down. And actually this Mothership Core taking some damage early. Again in this odd position where really the kind of initial kind of pylon isn't really in range of anything. Widow Mine in the natural picks off some workers too. That's 6 kills. 7, 8 now. We're going to see a couple of adepts starting to fall as well. Damage being done here by our Terran player. And he's still in this natural expansion with these Marines. Some cute pickup micro on these Marines as well to keep fighting these Stalkers. And ByuN finally going to just lift up and start to back away. But is he going to lose his units? Well, maybe the last shot is going to come down. No, it doesn't. ByuN gets away on 1 HP. Why is it always like this? ByuN always managing to find a way out of there. Absolutely crazy, escaping on 1 health with that medevac as this Widowman comes back up in the main base, and it will just go off on another probe. Already good damage done by ByuN. I mean, last time he won this game without even needing to do much damage with this initial medevac. This time, he does a lot of damage with the initial medevac. As this Liberator coming around the right-hand side, this is something which TaiLs maybe could have intercepted, but he's missed his chance. Yeah, I don't think he actually knew it was there. I think he was just trying to clear the way for a third base to come down. Now this Liberator sieges, and is in range of just a couple of these workers. In fact, just 1 mineral patch. But is at quite the distance where it's going to be very difficult for these Stalkers to come in and fight it. Another probe going down, and oh, there's the Stalkers going to push themselves in. There's going to be just the 1 Stalker kill, alongside the couple of probes and some lost mining time. Still good from ByuN. He continues to apply the pressure. As we do see this third Nexus dropping down from him, from TaiLs in the position as well. To this right-hand side, these 2 tanks from ByuN sitting on the low ground, Marines and Marauders gathering on up together. And we're going to be seeing Stim Pack just over halfway done. Combat Shields is starting, plus 1 attack. Also on the way down at this point, so setting up into all of this is going to be seeing the extended Thermal Lance still coming in from TaiLs right here as he sets up into his Colossus. And well, let's see if he can survive past the first Colossus this time. I mean, he might, just because of the fact that ByuN kind of delayed his upgrades a little bit longer in this game, I think, just because he built that Liberator, which he didn't do in the last game. I mean, it's a very slight sort of thing. He's also built the 2 tanks as well, so it's a different attack, where he doesn't have Stim and +1 quite as fast, but he has 2 tanks and that extra Liberator earlier to make up for it anyways. Pushing forwards now, just sort of fighting back with some of these lower health units. Look at that. The units which get hit by the Stalkers, he pulls back a little bit to make sure they're not going to go down. As we're going to be seeing a scan here, he'll set up his tanks towards the edge so that they are not very easily engaged into. And now we're going to see them starting to work their way through this pylon or 2, and well, this is not looking pretty for TaiLs at all. ByuN is looking very good right now as he starts to work his way through this first pylon over here. We're going to see Marines and Marauders will stim in. A couple of pylons going to go down very quickly, and now all of a sudden this third Nexus is, well, under fire as well. Nexus taking a lot of shots here, and tanks still firing away from a distance. This Nexus getting lower and lower and lower, down to 400 health now. The Marauders going to stim ahead the rest of the units just to make sure they can try and get something done, as we're going to see ByuN begins to back away to disengage. Now splits his units out as this blink comes forwards. He knows he has to fight here. Even if it's going to end up being a lift and leave with the last couple of units, it's still a pretty okay-ish fight because he cleans out so many of these Stalkers that TaiLs is still going to be struggling in that regard. So clean out a lot of those Stalkers, that's really, really useful, as we're going to be seeing a few of these Marines starting to unload to the right-hand side. And we're just going to be seeing these Marauders and Marines coming in once again. Pylon's going to go down, which actually empowers 3 gates and the Robo. So good for like Colossus production for a little while, as all these Stalkers in the main are getting taken down as well. The Marauder damage pretty high. Actually, he will not take down all of them. There's 1 Marauder behind, just picks up before it picks off that Stalker. But it's another drop down the right-hand side again, and the pressure just keeps going. Stimming on in here, and while the third Nexus was very low before, this time it will probably just go down. I don't see a way for him to really defend this. Mothership Core taking some hits as well, will fall without an overcharge. And as the probes go down and evacuate the third base, TaiLs will just move into this map. And he'll look to try and pick up some reinforcements. He'll look to the counter-attack to try and pull his way back into this game. But he's walking across with like 7 stalkers and 2 claw side. He knows that this is realistically not something which is going to exactly work out very well for him.